Hello and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas. Last episode we were at the RepCon testing facility somewhere that way, and we helped a bunch of ghoul cultists launch themselves in a rocket. And now we're going to explore Helios One. And since I lied and said I was part of the NCR last episode, I have access to their ammunition and supplies. Now, in some ways, you do gotta feel bad about lying to these people and taking advantage of them. So to make up for it, I'll help them out.
This chain link fence perimeter is worthless. We might as well be defending a cage from the inside.
It's rough, ain't it? Grab some of these. These will actually be pretty useful in this mission.
Got business here?
Alright, let's go talk to some of the NPCs after reading this. Archimedes testing. On Tuesday, February 16 at 2 p.m., technicians will be running a test of Archimedes and its connectivity with our plant security system. Under no circumstances should any employee be outdoors on the plant grounds until the alarm klaxon has cleared and an all clear is given. We have death and dismemberment waivers from all employees on file and are not responsible for any accidents that should occur during this procedure. Protective eyewear is mandatory for all technicians observing from the tower deck. Results. The initial testing of Archimedes was a success, though not an unqualified one. Several minor systems were overloaded despite all precautions taken, and the 2.5 minutes of downtime following the test is something we can work on improving. More importantly, we've received reports from nearby facilities that they experienced system frying power fluctuations at the time of the test, notably the Black Mountain Communications Array and the military bunkers at Hidden Valley. We're going to make it a priority next time to prevent such collateral damage. And it's interesting they have a little shout out to Hidden Valley here. I think that's where Lonesome Road takes place in. I could be wrong. Upcoming visit. Brig Gen Scott Lowe of the U.S. Army will be visiting the facility starting next Monday and staying on site indefinitely. When the Archimedes goes live, he will be the only person here allowed to authorize its use for anything other than a test. Civilian employees are not required to salute, but it is expected of everyone that you observe thorough grooming and hygiene regimes and dress neatly while the General is with us. The General expects the best from all his men, and Poseidon men should be no different in the presence of such a fine and decorated soldier. Can I tell him? A Poseidon Energy publication for new employees. As a member of Poseidon facility, it will be natural for you to become enthusiastic about the incredible endeavors you'll be undertaking with us, and to want to tell others. But just a second there, my good man. Let's take a minute to consider what could happen if company information fell into the wrong hands, and whose hands those might be. Can I tell my wife? Well, let's say you do. You could tell her not to tell anyone. Your bond is sacred, but a woman's idle tongue is a devil's plaything. No sooner do you leave for work, the next day she's on the phone telling her best friend's Candy. Then Candy tells Gertie. Then Gertie tells Maxine. Maxine tells Lulu. And while Lulu is telling Doris, a Chinese agent posing as an American operator listens in, and the next thing she's online with the Forbidden City, singing like the treasonous canary. The following day, you and your wife are bound in shackles, and China is sitting at the controls of our entire arsenal. Can I tell my children? What father wouldn't want his kids to look up to him? Don't be that father. One day at school, Ivan Bulikov will get more than lunch money out of your kids. He'll have national secrets. And while they're parading him through Red Square as a national hero, your children will be working in forced labor camps right next to you and your beautiful young wife, who's now wrinkled and homely since the communists have banned makeup because it expresses individuality. Actually kind of interesting that there's sort of an anti-Russian sentiment, because the vast majority of anti-communist stuff in Fallout is against the Chinese. Can I tell my drinking buddies? Surely if there's somewhere safe a man can place his trust, it's with his other male friends. But how much do you really know about them? Are they friends or comrades? Don't be too sure. Even the most transparent window can hide secrets when it's lined with iron curtains. Always remember, you are a member of two families now, and you will have obligations to both. But your obligations to the Poseidon family is greater, because while your children may misbehave and your friends may change and your wife may nag and cheat on you, Poseidon Energy will always be paying for and protecting your way of life. Don't tell anybody about anything. About the projects of Poseidon Energy. Lay hell I'm bad at this. When pressed, tell them that your job is repetitive and not worth discussing. But the company is nurturing and gives good benefits and is always looking for new talent. I think that might be for Hidden Valley. Well, small hints about it. Players were none the wiser about how much of a important place it'll be. The NCR, these stick-up-the-ass military guys, and they can't even spare the soldiers to grab these cinder blocks here and move them to get rid of this thing. Just one guy with a little bit of authority telling his subordinates to get this shit in order. But nope. Didn't remove any of these advertisements here. And it's kind of odd that there would be advertisements here in the first place. This is like a scientific facility, but you know, we gotta advertise a Super Duper Mart, which is back east.
If the Legion breaks through our defenses, I got one bullet I'm saving just for me.
I don't think I've ever heard an NPC say that.
Who the hell are you? They bring you in to replace me? They're replacing me, aren't they?
Settle down, I'm not here to replace anyone.
Damn right you're not. Goddamn right. Why would they? You can't top this guy. Just a little more time. You can't keep Fantastic down for long.
What job do you have here?
What else? I'm in charge. This whole operation depends on me. No fantastic, no power. Got the whole NCR suckling my teats, and it feels so good.
What exactly are you trying to accomplish?
Well, see, we're getting power because the guy running this place is fantastic. But the mirrors outside aren't aimed right, so we're running at 1% efficiency. And I guess that just isn't good enough for some assholes. Trouble is, most of the controls for this place aren't here. They're in the tower. And that place has some crazy pre-war security system that the dumb shit NCR set off when they took over. Killed 2 guys. Now they won't go near it. They want me to make an omelet, but I can't break any of their eggs. Know what I'm saying?
How did you get this job?
It was easy, man. They were going door to door asking if anyone knew any scientists. I said look no further. They asked me if I knew anything about power plants. I said as much as anyone I had ever met. They asked me how well I understood theoretical physics. I said I had a theoretical degree in physics. They said welcome aboard.
It's one of the best lines in the game, in my opinion. How would someone retarget the mirrors?
There's these 2 terminals outside. They control the mirrors. I tried fooling with them, but didn't get very far. You'd have to get them to talk to the mainframe up in the tower, then do the rest from up there. I'm guessing, but it sounds good, right? Hey, you're not thinking about going up there, are you?
I am now.
Well, hey, if you find yourself up at the mainframe, do yourself a favor and make sure you send the power to the right place. It needs to go to the Strip and McCarran.
Why should the power go to the Strip and McCarran?
Because I get paid, that's why. Per kilowatt hour. Whatever the hell that is. That's where the NCR wants the power, so that's where I want it. But you know, you do that, maybe I put in a good word for you with them. Fantastic's little helper. There's a reputation you can hang your hat on.
Why are you worried about being replaced?
Worried? Do I look worried to you? I've got this under control, baby. No one else can do what I do here.
What exactly do you do?
Fuck, man. Everything. I push buttons, I turn dials, I read numbers. Sometimes I make up little stories in my head about what the numbers mean. Like one time I imagined they were a code to get into a vault full of naked women. Man, how cool would that be?
So you have no idea what you're doing.
No, man. I know exactly what I'm doing. I just don't know what effect it's going to have. Over there controls power in this building. That station has readouts on the computer network. That big knob there makes a crazy noise. Sparks come out of that slot if you put stuff in it. And I'm learning more every day.
Bye.
Here. You'll want this. It's the password to one of the terminals outside. Found it written on one of the stalls in the bathroom.
Let's talk to this guy now.
It's unusual to see a new face here. Are you a soldier or a scientist?
My interest in this place is scientific.
Then we have that in common. Whom do you typically work with?
This is your turf. For all I know, you could have me killed for my allegiance. Who are you with?
Very well, yes. I'm part of the followers of the apocalypse. If you're not familiar, we seek peace and the spread of knowledge. Knowledge that must never be lost to the world. Now your turn.
I want what you want.
That's reassuring. Although many who've made that claim to the followers of the apocalypse over the years have had less than pure intentions. But if it's really as you say, then take my advice. This installation carries with it dangers that no one here has realized. Take care what you do here, and who you listen to. Some things are best left buried with the old world.
What more is there to this place than the power plant?
I don't entirely know. Our records on the company that built this place suggest that their dealings were not only in energy, but also in weapons. And I've seen equipment here marked with symbols used by the pre-war military. Targeting computers, shock sensors. A code word comes up repeatedly in the papers I've looked through here. Archimedes.
You think Archimedes is a weapon they built here?
Yes, and the technology they have in this facility is like nothing I've seen. Some of it reminds me of Enclave equipment, but more advanced. A weapon based upon it would be catastrophic, no matter who claimed it. It's no wonder the Brotherhood wouldn't give it up.
The Brotherhood of Steel knew about Archimedes?
They weren't here for me to ask, but I doubt they were here for electricity. When the NCR first came here, it was under Brotherhood control. They usually steered clear of one another, but something here changed their minds. The Brotherhood's interest in pre-war technology has always been in weapons. It's likely they were trying to reclaim Archimedes when the NCR arrived.
The NCR asked me to help increase his plant's power output.
Then I would say do it. As long as the power of this plant is committed to the regional grid and not to a weapon, we are safe. If you're the one to restore output, then you can route the power where you choose, and they'll never be the wiser. I can't get you past the security in the tower, but I can be of some help. I've discovered a password for one of the mirror control terminals outside. You'll need it.
Where should I route the power?
Oh, the NCR has their own designs for it, no doubt, but resist the urge to send it only to the thriving communities. The need for power is great everywhere. Distributing it evenly is the most rational and humane choice.
Why would you trust me with this?
I'm a man of letters. I'd be torn to pieces by the security system they have in that tower. I'd never reach the mainframe. But eventually, the NCR will. Or if not them, Caesar's Legion. They will use this place for war. Because the possibility exists you might do anything else, you're the only choice I have.
The NCR doesn't know about the weapon?
Not yet. By some miracle, they've hired an imbecile to try and decipher the systems here. He spent months working at one console trying to get the solar reflectors to track the sun. What he doesn't know is that the only thing the console controls is the plant's intercom system. I tried to tell him, but he insisted that the largest console had to be the most important. Still, it's only a matter of time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
So, kind of interesting, this dipshit here is sort of helping out by being such a bumbling idiot. Because he's just kind of preventing the NCR from learning about the real power and purpose of this place. This is probably where Fantastic sleeps.
Hey, man.
Or no doubt he sleeps here, and this guy Ignacio Rivas sleeps there, or maybe he sleeps here. Which begs the question, if there's 3 beds, why are there not 3 people? This general area out here is actually going to come into play in a later mission in the game, where we have to find solar panels, scraps like that one for the boomers. What are you doing, Boone?
Pretty sure HQ's forgotten all about us.
Two whole XP for that. You gotta be shitting me, mate. Archimedes testing. Seen that. Seen that. Reset mainframe connection. It's actually a pretty unique location, and this is also an area that's based off of a real-world location. It's like one of these solar panel farms in Nevada. Alright, here's some angry doggos in there, so what's a fun thing to do is hop up here Hopefully I have a grenade. Just chuck one in. That should have done it. Oh, well that's not it. Yeah, I think that did it. Is anyone else in here? Oh. Might as well finish it off with a grenade. I should probably heal myself. And meat, real fruit, gecko steak. These are some tough doggies. Like I tossed 3 grenades in here and they all lived. Why are there even rabid, angry dogs in here? Good grief, the NCR is in disrepair. There's gonna be some nasty pre-war defenses here. If we can get through these turrets, I'm going to equip these, where are they? Pulse grenades. Let Boone and Eddie handle the turrets. They're better at shooting anyways. A way to actually reach the turrets, though. Oh, there's 2 of them. Stepped over on those mines, or tried to reload the save, and you'll never believe what happened. Game crashed. Are they really leaving just armed frag mines on the shelves here? Oh, and this disarms the turrets. Probably would have been good to go here first. Let's see here, 4 out of 6. This has the same amount. It's likely the AR. Here, let's test this out. Oh, it's not the AR, it's just the A. Let's here, deactivate the turrets. Doesn't really do me much good, but I'll take it. Actually, I'll check out what's down here. Robo-brain. Still can't access that. Some more pulse grenades. Hockey mask for whatever reason. Purified water. Why would there even be a set?
Eat this.
Please don't interrupt me, Boone. Why would there even be crispy squirrel bits in a ancient facility like this? Unless Brotherhood of Steel was down here specifically, but given the amount of hostile robots we still need to clear through, that seems unlikely. Bunch of bottle caps. Just love the idea that people back then were so fucking lazy with putting stuff in the trash that they just tossed it into their desks.
All mine.
Oh, sorry, Eddie.
All mine.
I'm starting to get angry. You would not like me when I'm angry.
All mine.
Their AI can be really silly sometimes, and also a bit annoying when Eddie decides to get in your way. Yeah, sensor module, but we'll leave that there. Head further down.
How do you like that, you mother-loving Tommy?
Trying to see, are there any like oh, owl.
Scanning for hostiles.
Wanted to see if there's any turrets, and I decided to fall down and nearly break my legs. Missing empty trash cans like this.
Engagement with multiple hostiles in progress.
Eddie, please move. Energy cell and flamer fuels. Mr. Gusties are very useful for ammo.
Engaging multiple hostiles.
Anything up here? Don't look like it.
Please step into the open and identify
Oh,
yourself.
who's shooting me?
Law-abiding.
Oh, he is. Alright, I'll just, give myself some stim packs.
Can't run from me.
It's like a bunch of them in here, probably.
With search protocol. Target detected. Requesting backup.
Need help, Boone? And that is how you do it. Good bit of energy cells for our troubles. Anything in here? Yeah, but I'm gonna go back and see if we missed anything in our mad dash for mechanical carnage. Here's a fission battery. Where are you, Boone? So I need a repair 35 or higher for that. And if you do not have that high of a repair level, there should be a Mr. Handy around here who can repair it. Interesting, it's just a robo brain part. Kinda wonder if the actual brain part is still alive somehow. Looks kinda deflated though. This whole holographic thing. Looks like they're tracking, I don't know, battleships or whatever. That's to the Mojave, but we can use our science to hardwire the robot and make it on auto repair. And in many ways that's even better than repairing it yourself, because now when you leave you don't have to worry about the facility breaking down. There's already some hands on deck. This robot has been fitted with a variety of tools specialized for industrial maintenance. However, there's nothing left in this room for it to repair. All you did was zap these wires with electricities. Electricities, plural, just fucking brilliant. Here's a kind of interesting bit of art. Nice beachside scene. Don't see that pretty much anywhere else. Initial trials. Pending the successful launch of Archimedes 2, we thought to be able to begin field trials with a handheld rangefinder within a few weeks. Our small-scale tests have already proven the viability of sending power as microwave radiation from the plant to remote receiver and converting it back into a usable form. All that remains is to extrapolate it to full scale and then prove out the long-range communication targeting system on the rangefinder. And we've already seen that. So I can send it to McCarran or Las Vegas, to Fremont and West Side, to the full region, Archimedes 2, and full region emergency output level 1. Even though I'm going to side with House and the NCR, I'm going to give it to the full region, because I think that is what's best for the citizens of New Vegas. Now I need to go up and orient everything, and remember that all the notes here said it was done at 2 p.m. Lovely view. There's Dinky the dinosaur. There's the Helios One base. There's some building over there. There's New Vegas. There's an NCR power station that we'll be going to later. Looks like there's a building over there and over there, but it's kind of hard to tell what they're used for. There's a gas station. Get the whole 9 yards as far as good views go. It's very yellowish up here though. Everything's pretty much coated in yellow rather than green like back in the east. So let's see. Wait. It's 12:57, so if I wait 1 hour, it'll be about 2 o'clock. Such a cool scene. Still hear the humming of it all. Let's do something stupid real quick. He makes such a beautiful pose when he falls to the ground. And I can arm it to wipe out all soldiers, but I don't think I'll be doing that. The NCR and I might not see eye to eye every time, but no point in murdering a bunch of common soldiers. Wonder if any NCR soldiers got blinded out there. It did warn people not to be outside when testing was going on. So I feel kinda bad for all the soldiers and their dogs out here. Alright, let's screw this. Shouldn't there be more people than this defending a power plant?
There should, but we're not getting much power out of it, so none of our enemies have big interest in it either. Not like Hoover Dam, anyway. We had a real fighting force here just long enough to take it from the Brotherhood of Steel. Then they got sent east to the dam like everybody else. Caesar's Legion sends skirmishers every so often, prodding for weaknesses mostly. The reality is, if they really wanted it, we'd all be dead.
What can I help you with?
I diverted power to the grid.
I saw that on the monitors here, and you sent it to everyone. Very admirable. Now that the NCR has more or less what they want, hopefully their curiosity about the plan is satisfied, and they'll dig no deeper. The followers will be grateful. Here, take these as a parting gift. I hope you'll find them useful.
Big book of science added, some stim packs, 2 doctor's bags, and followers of the apocalypse like me. Why are you still here?
Keeping watch mostly. Trying to make sure the dangers of this plant are minimized.
Bye.
Goodbye.
And I have become accepted by the followers of the apocalypse. Gonna put this up to 50 because it's been ruining my adventuring for a while now. I'm gonna put the rest in explosives. I'll get the Scrounger perk. Actually, get intense training. Put my perception up to 8. And the reason I have my perception up to 8 is for one of the DLCs. Nothing good comes from me sneaking while facing somebody's backside, but in this case it actually will be good because this guy does more harm than good. And I think this is better fit for me. I can't sit down there. Can I sit here? Nope. Yeah, that guy's an idiot and it's just gonna slow everything down. And now that I actually fixed the power plant here, I figure he'll just screw it up again. It's better in the hands of his partner. This whole place is in disrepair, but at least I can understand them not being able to clean this up. Alright, nothing new there. Eastern Reflector Control Terminal Password. I don't really need that anymore. How many damn Eastern passwords are there gonna be? Alright, I guess that just about does it for Helios One. Head over to this construction equipment. That if the NCR ever manages to get running again, it can actually be pretty useful for the area. What's going on down here? Viper. Help that guy out. That's right, big boy. Helios One, the dawn of a golden age. Kinda wonder what's going on with the poster there, though. It's so faded that you don't even know what it's supposed to be about. Oh, there's a prospector. Let's see, where am I looking at? Oh, just a botfly, really? A jackpot, win something million. Big Ranch, Nevada State Lotto. That's probably for Nipton. A fun fact that I forgot to mention about Fantastic back there. If you help the Legion take over Helios One, he'll actually defect to them and be wearing Legion armor. And if you ask him about it, he'll say, like, you know, when in Rome, and all of that.
Howdy. Howdy.
She has nothing to say. Some pre-war money. Was this area prospected already? A few sunset sarsaparillas. Jeez. Ammunition, weapons. It's like she's not even trying. Some yeast. Some bottle caps just here in the open with one star cap. A lot more caps in the register. How's anyone even supposed to use this with so much bottle caps in there? Though, to be fair, the reason there's so much is because of the achievement, or not achievement, the perk I got. That just makes it weirder, because there potentially could have always been that many caps in there, but for whatever reason the courier doesn't find it.
Howdy.
Hoover Dam. NCR and proud. If you say so, buddy. Another Helios One sign. There's a bunch of ants over there, but we don't need to mess with them. Let's talk to this guy here.
Howdy there, partner.
What's your story, stranger?
My story's a long one, friend, and I can't say as it's all that interesting.
Nevertheless, I'm interested.
Well, I was born in a little town out Montana way. Me and Ma didn't have much, ever since my pa up and left.
Wait, Montana? You wouldn't happen to be 17, would you?
No, sir. I'm 28. Why?
Oh, thank God. Forget it. Never mind. So your father left?
That he did. Never did know why. Ma always said he was a real mysterious fella, even when he was with her. Like he was a stranger sometimes.
Sounds like you miss him. Is that why you're out here wandering?
Maybe. Maybe I just never felt like I belonged back home.
Must have been hard growing up without a father. Oh, this one's pretty good too. Do this one. You were better off without him. You became your own man, outside of his shadow.
I suppose there's that. But a man ought to know his own paw. And a woman oughtn't to have to work herself to an early grave to provide for her family. After Ma died, I guess I wanted to find my paw and get some answers from him. Been out here looking ever since. But he ain't an easy man to find.
And what will you do when you find him?
Can't say as I really know. Maybe I'll just ask him why. Maybe I'll punch him right in the mouth. Hell, the more I talk about it, the more the whole damn thing sounds like a dumb idea.
Let's change the subject.
Anything else you'd like to know?
Goodbye.
So long, friend.
I'll be talking to this guy a little bit more later, but not now. And there is some reason to believe that the mysterious stranger that you get with a specific perk, where if you're in VATS and you're attacking something, occasionally this other NPC will show up out of nowhere and kill whatever you're fighting. There's some reason to believe that that guy was his father. Oh, you shoot ants. Not shoot ants, you shoot fire. That's not very pleasant. It's not very pleasant at all. That way to Boulder City, which is where we want to go to find that one great Kahn who helped Benny. Oh, there are two. It's just Boulder City again. Hoover Dam, Lake Mead. Might as well go over there, I guess. One thing I kinda wish was done better in New Vegas was giving a quick save option for the console version. Because even though I'm playing on PC, I am using an Xbox controller. And the problem is that you can't quick save on an Xbox controller. You can on mouse and keyboard, but even if I press F5 on the keyboard here, it doesn't quick save. And funny thing about that is it does sort of effectively make it impossible for console players to keep up with PC players when speedrunning, because console players can't do like the reload dash and then they quick save and quick load when they're about to fall to their death. DISR. There you go. Disengage lock. Bottle caps. Some pre-war money. Hey, I'll take it. The caps are good, then I have no problem spending time trying to work a terminal. See if there's anything over here. There's a few Metal boxes with a conductor that no doubt Boone will be thrilled to know about. Where is he? Trying to hide away
Fine
from
by
your
me.
conductor duties, huh? Yeah, I thought I remember this. A lot of good loot up here. This is exactly what I mean by having a bunch of, or you know, some interesting loot in areas that most people wouldn't think to go to. And since I'm over here, I might as well also do the Boulder City mission. Although I am going to tell Boone to wait at the entrance, cause I don't want to risk the possibility that he, as an NCR member, is going to get immediately hostile and start shooting people. Felt the controller rumble there. Service rifle. Ranger holodisc message. We're cut off from the rest of the platoon, and there are legionnaires all over the place. There's no chance we can get out here before they blow the town, so we're going to hold out against them as long as we can. If anyone ever gets this, I'd like to make sure that Private Jeffrey Hugh and Corporal Marcus Christensen are commended for their valor and sacrifice. Both have upheld the ideals and honor of the New California Republic with distinction. Ranger Teresa Lutz out. Kind of interesting they can't actually pick this up. So Ranger hat. Where's Boone? Well, I tried.
We've got a situation with some great Kahns right now. The brass at McCarran has ordered me to lock down the ruins until it's been resolved.
What's going on with the Great Kahns?
One of my patrols was on its way back from Novak when it came under fire from the Great Kahns. They radioed for reinforcements, but instead of waiting for us, they chased the Kahns into the ruins where they were caught in a crossfire. No deaths, but not all the squad got out. The Kahns have Private Ackerman and Private Gilbert as hostages.
The Great Kahns might have something of mine, a platinum chip.
Once the Great Kahns have been killed or captured, you're welcome to retrieve any property they've taken from you.
I may be able to negotiate a deal with the Great Kahns.
Normally I'd turn you down since I have no idea who you are. But considering that the hostages are as good as dead when we attack... Alright. I'm going to give you a chance to talk to the Great Kahns. Their leader is a man named Jessup. If we hear shooting, we'll be coming in. But it'll probably be too late for you.
I understand.
Good luck.
You, however, are gonna wait right here. Eddie can come along, though. Like the hanging two-headed teddy bear there. Probably a reference to the NCR. Being bears and all as their logo, and has two heads. Seems fairly obvious. Guys just don't give a shit, do you? Let me do-si-do right on in.
What the hell? You're that courier Benny wasted back in Good Springs. You're supposed to be dead.
I'm a ghost, here to haunt you. Ooh.
Alright, quit fucking around. You survived and you tracked us down. What now?
Where's the platinum chip?
Don't have it. Benny stole it right before he stabbed us in the back. He's probably back at the strip by now, laughing at me.
Let's talk about settling things between you and the NCR.
What's to negotiate? The NCR backs off, we walk out of here, nobody gets hurt.
Free the hostages now, and I'll have the NCR escort you out of their territory.
I can't believe I'm doing this. But alright, the hostages can go. The NCR had better keep their end of the deal, though. Here, a souvenir for you. It's Benny's lighter. Shove it up his ass when you catch up with him.
I want some answers.
Yeah? On what?
What can you tell me about Benny?
He's one of the chairmen, big shots that run the Tops Casino in New Vegas. A friend from the city contacted me with info on a big job. I should have known that the caps were too good to be true, but there was still no way I could pass up the chance.
What do you know about the platinum chip?
It's just a big fancy poker chip as far as I know. Don't know why anyone would make one out of platinum though.
Why did Benny betray you?
He's a snake, that's why. He owed us the rest of the pay for the job, so maybe he didn't want to pay up.
Alright, gonna put a little bit more into explosives. Gonna put this up to 35 and this up to 70. And the reason I'm putting stuff in explosives is because there's a quest later on that you need knowledge in explosives for. So hostages are out.
I'm glad you were able to get my people freed, but there's a new problem. I just got orders to take out the Great Kahns, hostages or not.
The Great Kahns let the hostages go in exchange for their own freedom.
My hands are tied. I can't go against orders, can I?
If you have any integrity, then you'll honor the deal.
You're right. The Great Kahns are free to go.
And I'm well received by both factions. Anything over here? There doesn't seem to be anything there. Freaking video game not letting me go into that little corner there. Should have like a fat man and 20 mini nukes back there. Why am I not allowed to take this? This whole place is freaking abandoned. It's able to take 10mm rounds outside, but once we're in here, I can take the bottle caps and money from here, but, you know, don't take anyone's fucking psycho. Oh, hey, McMurphy, what are you doing? There we go. No one will find them. You can take the pencil, take the empty bottles, but I can't steal the drugs. Heaven forbid anyone nab that. And since I do have a average lockpick now, I think I should go back to RepCon and check out that vault in that office. Well, there's a few things here. Take the Wonder Glue and Turpentine Conductor. I'll take all this crap, and the reason I'm grabbing this crap is because there's a mission later on where you need to repair like a stove for the NCR, and you need a bunch of junk items for it. I'm not really sure what that sort of static noise is, if you can hear it. Alright, 10mm rounds, bobby pin, bottle caps, case, pre-war money, some stealth boys, and a whetstone. So, an alright haul. Oh, one thing I do know I can use to lighten the load is read this big book of science. Increase my science by 3, which is grand. Now I feel light as a feather, even though I'm still hauling around over 100 pounds of crap. You know, if they would just give RPG characters ability to wear cargo shorts, none of this weight problem or inventory management problem would be a thing. Because cargo shorts can hold like just an infinite amount of inventory. I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
You've done a good turn for the NCR, and now we'd like to do one for you. There's an NCR emergency two-way radio. You call, and we'll come run it. You're not alone out here. The NCR has your back. Stay safe and good hunting.
Alright. As long as it doesn't weigh me down. The draw distance of this game leaves quite a bit to be desired. You walk forward enough and entire signs appear out of the ether. I do wonder, does New Vegas have separate categories for PC and console, given the incredible ability that quick saving and quick loading provides? Like, it's no small feat to be able to do that. You can also use it to clip out of bounds in vaults and whatever, to be able to much easier find certain doors or get through difficult areas. Get away. Go. Go. Get away. Get away. On this spot... Can you slow down, mate? On this spot in the year 2277, Rangers and soldiers of the new California Republic turned back the forces of Caesar's Legion during the Battle of Hoover Dam. Over 100 men and women gave their lives on Nevada soil to defend local civilians and the principles of the Republic. May this humble stone be an enduring memorial to their valor and sacrifice.
Hello.
Hey, mate. You guys probably can't afford toilet paper because resources are stretched so thin, but they managed to erect this whole monument here.
You here to pay your respects too?
What is this memorial?
It commemorates the Battle of Hoover Dam. The Rangers lured the best of Caesar's Legion into Boulder City and blew the whole town up. The NCR still lost a bunch of troops in the fighting, though. My older brother sacrificed himself so they could evacuate some of the wounded.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't worry about it.
Where are you normally stationed?
Camp McCarran, but I'm on leave at the moment, heading back to California to see my folks. I'm supposed to join up with a caravan that's heading that way up at the 188, but they're not due to arrive for a while yet.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And there's a bunch of names that I can't help but to wonder, are these like dev names or something like that? Because a lot of times when you see a list of names in a video game, it has some real world equivalent to it, like in a Kickstarter game. If there's a list of names in like a journal or whatever, it's usually the names of the Kickstarter backers. Really not allowed to lockpick anything here? I mean, I'm not even particularly interested in stealing anything, but I would like the experience. An easy lockpick is practically free experience points after all. Hoover Dam is this way, alright. Might as well discover it, since we'll have to eventually. You know, honestly, these roads don't look any worse than the ones where I live. Except for over here, it's pretty fucked there. But, you know, mechanics in the NCR for maintaining any land-based vehicles must certainly be earning their cap's worth. Quickly discover this location here. There's one mission where you have to go to all the different ranger stations, and it's kind of a boring one because it really is just go to all these places and interact with the thing or talk to the person. Game crashed. Anyways, as I was saying, there's a bunch of posters of different medias that had the Hoover Dam in their stories. Like, there was a poster for the first Transformers movie, and among those posters was indeed good old Fallout New Vegas. So that was quite nifty. I didn't exactly expect to see Fallout New Vegas referenced in the Hoover Dam, but sure enough it was. I kind of wonder, do they have that statue of the dog who died during construction of the dam here? That'd be a good sort of real-world reference. Doesn't look like it, and this is too faded to see. There we go. Just had to take like a single step forward, and now
The Legion would have to be insane to attack this place.
now I'm here. So I'm gonna fast travel back to Boulder City, because even though there's quite a bit of loot at the Hoover Dam, it's in general just best to leave it alone for now. Kinda wonder if any other places like Good Springs or Hoover Dam have posters or references to New Vegas at them, like Nipton or McCarran Airport, or maybe even something there in Las Vegas itself. I know when Fallout 76 was announced and, you know, found out it's gonna take place in West Virginia, that was actually like a big deal over in that state. Like, people were using Fallout imagery as advertisements on their store. Country roads became a bit of a hit over there. It was just like the first time in a long while that anyone in that state felt any sort of pride or happiness.
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
I feel bad for people in West Virginia. Let me just put that on the table now. If you live in West Virginia, you know, I feel bad for you, son. Got 99 problems, but being part of the worst Fallout game certainly ain't one. Though, to be fair, there isn't exactly a Fallout game taking place specifically in Arizona, and where Arizona is, according to the lore as far as how things are going, well, it's Legion territory, and the Legion are a bunch of fucking primitivists, so I don't like them. Very green over here. It's all this grass, likely because of the lake here. And I just discovered Camp Golf. Not allowed to nab anything.
Howdy, great to see you.
Can you tell me about your squad mates? The perfect opening to any random soldier you come across?
They're mostly pretty nice. Poindexter showed me how to make fireworks. Raz kind of scares me sometimes, but I don't mind. He's had a hard life.
How'd you end up in the army?
Well, as it turns out, we had a string of bad harvests a few years back. Boss said he couldn't afford to feed but 3 youngins or we'd starve. As the biggest one, it was my job to go join the army so's my sisters could eat, and so's we wouldn't all be killed by raiders, and Jesus would love us. It's alright, I guess. I don't like all the fighting we gotta do, though.
Why are you so afraid of fighting?
I ain't scared. I just don't like hurting folks is all. Ma always used to tell me, boy, you're the biggest and the strongest, so you mind yourself. Every day she told me that. Guess I done took it to heart.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I was born on a farm out in California. Weren't much. Me, Ma, and Pa, my 2 sisters, and about 40 acres of corn and Brahmin. Didn't ever have no problems, really, except for some lean years. Then I joined up and got shipped out here to New Vegas.
What do you think of Camp Golf?
Oh, it's a fine place. The lake is real pretty, and we don't get bothered much by them Legion fellers.
Goodbye.
Toodaloo.
Kinda like how this NPC and all the others have their own backstories and personalities.
What you want, Holmes?
Know anything about your squad mates?
We don't talk too much, mostly. Poindexter's a smart-ass prick. While Hanrahan's a big pussy, ain't good for shit in a fight. And Mags? Well, Mags is cut out for something other than soldiering, you dig?
Sounds like a bunch of winners.
Whatever. Not like I need any of them. I do just fine on my own.
So what's your story?
Ain't much to tell. Grew up out west, in the boneyard. Heard of it? Yeah, not many people have. Wasn't really a good place for kids, you know. I joined up to get out. My family's still back there.
Why are you in the army?
Shit, man, it was this or the Fiends. The Fiends don't last too long in the NCR. At least this way the badasses with the top shelf guns are on my side.
Can you tell me anything about Camp Golf?
What do you want to know? Whole place used to be some kind of rich bastard resort back before the war. Now the Rangers use the old resort and we grunts get to live in tents. Fucking typical.
Bye.
Right.
Anyways, where's... Well, wait before I talk to her. There's one other NPC. Here he is.
I'm assuming you aren't associated with the Army or the Rangers. What can I do for you?
Are you in charge around here?
In a strictly official capacity, no. However, as I am by far the most intelligent and resourceful figure on this base, I feel it's safe to say the soldiers here look up to me.
So... I wonder if anyone else would share that sentiment.
Genius is seldom appreciated in its own time.
Tell me about yourself.
To what purpose? It's highly unlikely you'd understand anything I'd say. Suffice to say, I'm a certified genius, and when I'm discharged from this pit of testosterone and failure, I'll have all the money I could ever need.
How'd a guy like you end up in the army?
It's a simple idea. The Army offers fiscal security and generous benefits at the cost of substantial personal risk, if you're on the front line. If you perform too poorly, they'll scrub you out. Perform too well, and you get sent to the front lines. All I have to do is ride that mediocrity gradient to a cushy, do-nothing job miles away from the war.
Bye.
I somehow suspect you'll be back to converse with me later.
Alright, so everyone has their own issues. It's pretty clear.
Glad to see you haven't gotten yourself killed yet.
Why'd you join the army?
I guess I wanted to make something of myself, you know? Be the best of the best. I wanted to be a ranger, but guess this is as close as I get.
How'd you end up assigned to Camp Golf?
Easy. This is where they send all the fuck-ups and people they don't want. But hey, it's not like I'm bitter or anything.
Sounds like you aren't too fond of your squad mates.
Yeah. I mean, no. They're okay people, but they don't care, you know? They don't have any ambition, no drive. They're slacking off, and that reflects badly on me.
This place doesn't seem so bad.
Please. Camp Golf is where they shuffle off anybody they don't want anymore. Assignment here is a career ender.
Tell me about yourself.
Not much to tell, really. I grew up in New Reno, joined up, took my shot at being a ranger, didn't make it, so I'm stuck with this crew of jokers.
How'd come you didn't make it into Rangers?
Gee, I don't know. Maybe because I'm saddled with the worst damn unit in the NCR Army. Think that might have something to do with it?
Bye.
Sure. See you around. Glad to see you haven't gotten yourself...
Alright, so there's... I think you need to go in that tent and talk to whoever's in charge here and offer to whip their asses into gear.
Oh, hell. What is it now?
How'd you end up in Camp Golf?
I've been here since the first push into Vegas. Back in the day, this camp was the hot spot for conflicts with the Legion, Raider tribes, you name it. These days, I spend most of my time trying to beat a little discipline into the soldiers under my command. Gotten soft with no action.
Funny, I thought this was where they sent washouts and losers.
Yeah, well, somebody has to wrangle those washouts and losers. Somebody's got to turn them into a real fighting force.
Sounds like you're a little disappointed in your troops.
Disappointed? You call them the misfits for a reason. They're undisciplined, lazy, and they have absolutely no esprit de corps. The squad leader's got some promise, a kid named Mags. But as for the rest, I don't see much hope. I'm going to make them shape up if it kills me, though. Or them, for that matter.
Maybe I can help you whip them into shape.
You're welcome to try. Hell, maybe they'll listen to somebody they don't see as an authority figure.
How'd a guy like you end up serving the army?
Man, it's my life. I joined up when I was 16. I don't know how to do anything else.
You joined at 16 and you're still a sergeant?
Yeah, well, I didn't want to get promoted out of the field. I didn't join up to drive a desk.
Goodbye.
Hello. Glad you're with us.
Lad's life is freaking useful. Or not useful, useless. Programmer's Digest doesn't help me either. Can't really take anything. If there was like a useful magazine, I might have nipped it, but I'm gonna see what levels we need to get these people to pass their course.
Glad to see you haven't gotten yourself...
Sergeant McCready asked me to talk to you about getting your squad in shape.
He did, huh? Well, good luck with that. You'd have an easier time teaching radroaches to march in formation.
Can't be as hard as all that. What needs to be done?
Well, if you ask me, what we really need is to get this whole squad out on the practice range. Shape up our marksmanship and explosive skill. I'm sure the others have their own ideas, though.
Okay, let's get them out to the range.
Are you sure? I've got enough clout to get them started, but these guys are pretty lazy. I doubt they'll want to be pulled in different directions.
I'm sure. Let's do it. Well, I'll talk to them first.
I'll be here if you come to your senses.
What you want, Holmes?
McCready asked me to talk to you about getting your squad in shape.
Yo, I'll tell you what this squad needs. A healthy dose of angry juice.
Angry juice?
Psycho, the big red one. I used to run with the fiends. I still got the hookups. Smuggle some in and you'll see an improvement.
Alright, tell me where to get it.
My man Jack at Red Rock Canyon got the goods. But listen, once you get folks dosed on Psycho, ain't a lot of room for much else. So if you got any other plans for bulking up the Misfits crew, might want to see about them first.
Alright, let's talk to the others.
Whatever. Howdy, great to see you.
Same thing as before.
To me? I'll tell you what I think this squad needs. A little more basic human niceness.
Human niceness?
That's right. Folks just don't talk to other folks. And everybody's always cross with each other.
So you think I should find a way to convince the misfits to get along?
That'd be swell. Only if they knew the idea came from me, they probably wouldn't take you serious no more. So maybe you ought to think about it first. And I sure hope you're more convincing than I am, or they ain't gonna listen.
I'll ask around first. See what he has to say.
You've done an excellent job ingratiating yourself to the top brass. I assume this is some sort of stratagem? That seems highly illogical. What reason would he have for doing that?
He thinks you might respond better to someone who isn't an authority figure.
This is an unexpected variable. I had hoped to coast on an easy wave of mediocrity to a cushy government pension.
Maybe I can help out?
And how would you propose accomplishing such a goal? An intriguing proposition. Company readiness reports are logged on the computer systems at the resort. If you hack the system, you could alter our records. Such an attempt, however, is likely to thwart efforts to motivate the squad to do actual work. If such is your goal, you should look elsewhere.
You know, this guy's suggestion isn't bad, but I think you guys need to learn how to shoot.
You're the boss.
If you fail this, you can do it over again later on. The only problem is you have to wait for these ding-dongs to get up here. Move it. Move it, boy. Go on. Lazy bum.
Okay, everybody's lined up and ready to go.
Alright, 25, 35, 45.
Fancy meeting you here, friend.
How'd you get here?
Just rolling along on my spurs. Looks like I just might make it to New Vegas after all.
You see what happened in there?
Yep. Guess it's just down to you and Fancy Pants. I wouldn't worry about him. He looks all hat and no cattle, if you ask me.
It's good to see you again, Victor.
Yep. This is getting mighty embarrassing. People gonna start to talk.
Did you see Benny come this way?
Fancy Pants? No, I ain't seen hide nor hair of him since the tussle in Good Springs. I'm sure he ran back to the soft living of New Vegas, though.
Goodbye.
Look me up when you get to New Vegas. I'll buy the first round.
I wonder if I can follow him all the way to New Vegas. Alright, so I need to get these skills up to 35 because I can read a magazine. And let's see. I have a Patriots cookbook which gives 10 to explosives, so I only need that to go up to 35. And if I can find a Guns and Bullets magazine, then I can get the guns up to 35. It's all a matter of finding those things. Be nice if vendors sold them.
Hey,
Welcome aboard.
See, not too far off from leveling up.
Glad you're with us.
Oh, this is where I can cheat.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Lucky 38 VIP keycard. Interesting. Don't mind if I do, I guess. And there is a reason why you'd find the Lucky 38 VIP keycard in an NCR area, because this used to be the domain of Mr. House. His own little resort, so he probably left it there, and I wonder if he remembers it and then realizes the NCR also now lives here. And a fun little bit of trivia, one of the people Mr. House was based off of was Howard Hughes, who was a famous innovator in the 1950s. Sort of comparable to, say, Elon Musk of today, you know, a businessman who pushed technology a little bit forward. And this picture here is based off of a famous photo of Howard Hughes where he's standing in front of an aircraft. Women of the NCR, every one of you serves. Any one of you who serves is a slap across Kaiser's face. Tan his hide, ladies. Could probably make it lighter so you can see. The NCR needs you, strong. Do not eat irradiated food. Talk to your NCR medical officer about how you can recognize and avoid dangerous and toxic food. I mean, just look at the stats, bro. That's all you need to do. Look at the stats when you're shuffling through your Pip Boys. What I know, I keep to myself. Careless talk costs lives. When you steal NCR equipment, tools, and personal property, you are his bitch. And we've seen the rest in earlier areas. By the way, if you really want to steal something, but there's people in the area, no one will complain to you about just picking it up and moving it somewhere else. You actually have to pocket it in order for them to be mad. What a fucking mess. Can take the sarsaparilla bottle cap with a star on it, but none other. For whatever reason, well, you know, I kind of know the reasons, because it makes it easier to collect everything. But it just seems like in-universe kind of strange that they would let you take that specific limited edition bottle cap and not the regular ones. Little training thing. I can take the tweezers, but nothing else. Like, if you want to come here and grab a bone saw or a scalpel, no luck. But if you're just coming by for a couple tweezers, have at it. Boxing times, that's not what I need. Programmer's Digest, fixing things. Carton of cigarettes. Like, come on guys, you're the NCR. You have a bunch of guns, but no one reads any magazines about shooting. This is There was already a lad's life in a different area around here. Not allowed to steal this contraband even though it shouldn't be in an NCR building. Like, if you are fine with stealing things, this place will just be freaking amazing for you. Doesn't really make much sense that the rooms would be in such disarray. This is supposed to be for the Rangers. They're the most, high-ranking infantry soldiers in the NCR. You would expect them to be a little bit more disciplined than leaving their rooms as a fucking pigsty. Like, why even have those rooms if you're not gonna use them? Instead, everyone sleeps down there. Hey, Boone.
Back west, you don't see too many of these. Lakes, I mean. Natural or man-made. Any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago. Owens, Isabella, the San Luis. Drained the aquifers of everything they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water. It takes some getting used to. But if you're here long enough, it starts to seem normal. That's what a ranger's life is now, looking east. You must be the courier folks have been talking about. Word on the radio is that someone wronged you back in Good Springs. The Mojave has a way of burning decent people up. But it sounds like you've done right by the NCR. It's appreciated. Now what can I do for you?
Tell me about yourself.
Folks around here call me the Chief, but Hanlon's just fine. The Rangers run themselves pretty well. But I try to lend a hand. Mostly administrative work, helping coordinate intel on the radio. That and keeping an eye on the fires growing across the water.
How do you coordinate the intel?
It's a simple system when it works. Patrol rangers radio intel to ranger stations. Comm rangers send the intel up the station chain until it reaches Camp Golf. Then I or one of the other rangers on duty organize the data, evaluate it, and send information to camps or troopers in the field.
Why don't the ranger stations send the intel directly to the troopers?
Comm rangers might have an incomplete picture of the situation. There's a lot going on out there. Intel needs to be coordinated through Golf so we can verify and advise appropriately. Troopers have enough to deal with. We don't want them questioning their intel.
What do you know about Kaiser?
The best of the best, worst of the worst. He came out of NCR, one of the followers of the apocalypse. Like a lot of the followers, he went out in the wilderness with a partner to try to help those who needed helping. Not much different from how the Rangers used to be. Except with books and medicine instead of guns.
Where did he go?
Out to the Grand Canyon. He met a missionary from Utah, a man by the name of Joshua Graham. Graham helped translate for the followers and the tribes. All three of them got nabbed by the Blackfoots down there, back when they were still at war with every other tribe in the Southwest.
How did the follower wind up becoming Kaiser?
Somewhere along the way, he realized he needed to educate the Blackfoots or they were going to get wiped out with the rest of the tribe. Showed them how to use guns, how to make explosives. Once he taught the Blackfoots a thing or two, they needed him. And he no longer needed the followers, NCR, or anyone else. He decided he could remake the tribes of the Southwest whether they wanted it or not. He became Caesar, and Joshua Graham became his legate, his right hand. And that's where Graham stayed until Hoover Dam.
What happened to Graham after Hoover Dam?
Losing the dam was the worst defeat the Legion ever suffered. Graham had been with Caesar since the beginning, but he had to set an example. The Praetorians covered Graham in pitch, lit him on fire, and down into the Grand Canyon he went.
So that was the end of Graham?
It's not that clear cut. You have to understand, Graham was the toughest son of a gun anyone around these parts had ever seen. Before Hoover, we had 5 kill reports on Graham from Rangers and 1st Recon sharpshooters who tried to take him out. Some folks think he's still alive. Call him the Burned Man.
Are the Blackfoots part of the Legion?
Yes and no. The Blackfoots don't exist anymore. Just like any other tribe, they get swallowed by the Legion. Caesar takes the tribal out of the tribe. Scrapes and burns off tattoos, breaks up families, forces mixed breeding so all the old loyalties die away. The only tribe in the Legion is the Legion. Caesar is the chief, father, and god, all rolled into one.
How's the NCR doing?
It's no secret we've had better campaigns. Holding this whole length of river isn't easy. We're stretched thin and the long 15 just keeps getting longer. Slow to get supplies, slower to get reinforcements. NCR's Senate has got funds tied up at the Boneyard. President Kimball ordered our most experienced rangers to chase ghosts down at Baja.
Why are funds tied up at the Boneyard?
Senate elections are coming up. Local representatives don't want to push any more funding to the Mojave campaign because it's unpopular. Most of the folks around the Boneyard haven't been to New Vegas and probably never will. All they know is that their money gets sucked away to this desert and their brothers, sisters, sons, and daughters die here.
What's going on in Baja?
It's complicated. Goes way back. I told President Kimball that we need more rangers here. He accepted that, but took the most experienced ones and sent them south. Patrol rangers are good men and women, but we're about to fight a war.
What about the troopers?
You've seen it yourself. Some of them don't even have proper service rifles or armor. Our heavy infantry, power armor units, they're back in NCR territory protecting the interests of Brahmin barons against small-time raiders. Brahmin barons only have one vote at the ballot box, but they have a lot of money to throw around.
What has the Legion been up to?
Not too long ago, they took Nelson and Searchlight. They got some camps on the eastern shore of the Colorado. And the monstrosity on the hill across the lake, that's for Caesar. Some folks don't believe he's here yet, but you can tell. He's the eye of the storm. It all roils and spins around him. You don't have to see the man to see the effect he has.
Tell me about Nelson.
Nelson was barely set up. We had a big stretch of unprotected land between Forlorn Hope and Searchlight, and Nelson was the solution. A deaconess named Dead Sea took the place and caused a lot of damage.
What happened at Searchlight?
Searchlight was worse. One of Caesar's Frumentari must have found something in there. Flooded the whole camp with radiation.
Tell me about the Rangers.
I could tell you a lot if you had the time. But at my age, I'm not sure which of us would get tired first. What do you want to know?
Having good stories to tell?
Suppose it depends on what you think's good. Most folks want to hear about Hoover Dam and Boulder City, but it's a long story. If you want some tall tales about hunting down slavers or busting up gangs, talk to one of the younger rangers.
Speeds 50. There must be something good the Rangers have done that you're proud of?
It's kind of a long one, but all right. About 25 years ago, a group of NCR settlers pushed way south into Baja. I guess it doesn't seem so far now if you look at a map, but back then they were out of ways. They built this little shanty town around a well in the middle of nowhere. Called it Rattletail.
Continue.
Word got back to one of our stations that raiders had been attacking the place. I went out with 6 rangers. We must have been on the trail for a week before we got to Rattletail. We lost one woman to night stalkers and another almost died of dehydration. When we reached the place, it's 6 shacks set up around an old well.
Continue.
There's over 24 bodies lying in the dunes way outside of town, and 5 men with .308 rifles crouched behind sandbags. And these bodies, these people out in the sand, they aren't raiders, aren't even heavily armed. They're just people who were trying to get to the only well in 50 miles. I didn't have to talk to the men to see that they did not care one bit.
Continue.
They had planted an NCR flag over the well. They would not budge until every last one of them was laid out dead and cold. So I walked up and told them there was a group of raiders coming, 100 strong. I made up some cockamamie name for them and everything. The men looked at each other, looked at us, and asked me what we were going to do about it.
Continue.
I told them we would take them back into NCR territory because we'd already lost 10 Rangers on the way out. 10 Rangers, 5 men with .308 rifles. Well, that was enough for them. They packed up what they could and we took them back north. Last I heard, they settled somewhere in Anza Borrego. Raised bighorners. Had some tough times, but it worked out okay for them. So there you go. That's my one bit of good.
So what happened at Hoover Dam and Boulder City?
In big battles, Caesar deploys his legionaries in waves. Recruits up front, prime soldiers behind the recruits, old guard bringing up the rear. Opponents wear themselves out dealing with the first 2 waves, if they survive that long. When the veterans step up, there's not much fight left. Caesar can adapt, though, and when required, he can run any mix of legionaries as skirmishers and still retain order in the ranks. Joshua Graham, Caesar's old legate, he wasn't so flexible. When the Legion attacked Hoover Dam, General Oliver ordered his troopers back to the middle ground just after first contact. Graham pushed all of the legionaries onto the dam, filling the east side with recruits up front and veterans in the back, by the book. But once they were in, they were stuck there. Oliver's troopers were entrenched and wouldn't give a foot. That's when we ordered the Rangers and the 1st Recon sharpshooters to start picking off veteran Legion officers from a high ridge west of the dam. That only lasted about a minute before Graham ordered the back ranks to push through to the front and rush the ridge. Caused total chaos among the younger legionaries. Oliver's troopers fell back to the side walkways and stayed out of the veterans' way. By the time the veterans got to the ridge, we were already in Boulder City. They followed us down there, but we were out before they realized what was happening. We'd packed the old city with C4 and dynamite. Crude, but it did the job. Those who didn't die in the blast were in no position to mount a defense. The ones left on the dam didn't know what to do. The troopers routed them. Graham pulled the remaining legionaries back, but the battle was over. He went south, back to the Grand Canyon, back to Caesar. And that was the last we saw or heard from Joshua Graham.
So we got a whole lengthy history and dissertation on both the NCR and Kaiser's Legion, which is actually, pretty nice. He isn't an unbiased source by any means, but he has so far provided the most information about how Kaiser's Legion works and its history, as well as the problems with the NCR.
You've come back to see the Chief.
How long have you been in the Rangers?
Oh, well, I guess it must be coming up on 40 years or so. Back before Elise was chief, anyway. It was a heck of a lot harder then. Weren't as many of us to go around, but I think it was a lot easier to tell the good guys from the bad.
What do the Rangers do?
Well, there's what we're supposed to be doing and what we're actually doing. There's a big gap between those two things. About as wide as that lake out there.
Okay, what are you supposed to be doing?
To protect against all forms of tyranny. As simple as that. 30, 40 years ago, the wasteland was full of despots. Slavers, raiders, tough-talking hoodlums with gangs who like to kick around towns. Back then, the NCR military was still young. Couldn't cover much ground. It took groups like ours to tip the balance back to the good guys.
What are you actually doing?
Sitting on the shore of Lake Mead, looking east, listening to a radio, trying to not get too many people killed. I'm too old to be slapping leather, but I had hoped for something else. More than this, anyway.
Why are the Rangers here?
There's a lot of answers to that question, but it started with the Ranger Unification Treaty. We weren't always the only show in town. Nevada had its own posse, the Desert Rangers. They fought Caesar even farther east, out in Arizona. Years back, we met with the Desert Rangers at Mojave Outpost and agreed to help them against Caesar if they would join the NCR.
Alright, there's nothing else to discuss. Quite a long series of conversations though, that's for sure. Alright, I know where one gun magazine is. Yes, I did look it up on the Fallout wiki. Gonna save here. And I'll dismiss Boone.
What is it?
What is it you aren't telling me about what happened to your wife?
You got no right asking me that. Drop it.
I just want to understand you better.
You don't know what you're asking. Just let it go for now. The Legion's the only thing I want on my mind right now.
Let's part
If that's
ways.
what you think. Alright. Guess I'll be around Novak for a while longer until I figure out what I want to do with myself. See you around.
I don't know how pissed off he'd be at me sneaking into NCR cellars. I have no idea why anyone would try to force a lock with such low % of success.
Glad you're with us. Hello?
They don't seem to care that I'm in here. It's kind of odd. Yeah, I'm not allowed to unlock the cellar, but once I'm in, yeah, I guess you can't really do anything about that. Well, this is well hidden. Yoink. No witnesses, no crime, remember that. Leave them to their own devices. Alright, so going forward, I'll bring explosives up to 35. I should have enough to bring guns up to 25. Then next level I can bring that up to 35. And put the rest in like repair or science or medicine. Probably medicine be good. And then that'll be that.
Almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Quests I can do. I can do this one, alright. Give me a little bit of Legion fame, but that's fine.
Heard you helped out Jackson. Thanks for that. Caravans are still waiting for clearance to move out, but at least there's movement.
Legions attacked Nipton, burned and killed everyone.
What? There's no way. We're miles from the Colorado. They aren't even waiting for the dam to fall. They're already inside the borders. We'll never stop them. Not at this rate. We're doomed. Thanks for bringing the word. Even if the news is bad, I'll let the men know.
Not really what I like to hear, but more information should be better for the NCR, even if it's bad news. See if I can get to the correctional facility. Am I already enemies with the powder gangers? Like, I specifically avoided crossing their path because I wanted to be neutral to them. I am neutral. But for whatever reason, where are you running off to? Well, we'll leave him to do that. Eddie, please don't shoot the people I'm going to be trying to befriend. I'll probably want to save here, to be honest. Let's see, how do we get inside? Oh, here it is. Go figure, on the exact opposite side. It's like Vault Boy ducking and the guy getting fired on, which kind of implies that Vault Boy is a sort of icon beyond just Vault Tech. There's signs of him outside of jails, and there's also another sign somewhere around over there warning people not to trust anyone hitchhiking because they might be prisoners.
Look at you. Walking in here like you're one of us. Don't you know this is Powder Ganger territory?
What is this place?
This? This is, or was, the Big House. New California Republic Correctional Facility. Not much correcting went on here. Just slave labor. One day, us prisoners decided to liberate ourselves. Killed the warden, killed the guards, took over the whole damn territory.
Who's in charge of the prison now?
That'll be Eddie. You can usually find him sitting in the warden's old chair up in the main building.
Can I go in?
Well, I don't know. Depends on if you can make it worth my time. 100 caps sounds right to me.
Here's the caps.
Alright, you can go on in. Can't guarantee your safety though, just saying.
What did you do to end up in here?
Me? I ran with the toughest gang in the hub. You've heard of the hub, right? It's, west of here, I think. Back in California.
If you're free, why are you sticking around?
We've got the biggest, baddest fort in the wasteland. There's water and power, and if we need grub, we just go out and steal it.
What's a powder ganger?
That's us. We got sent here to fix the rails and make some new ones. And for that, we got to use dynamite. Of course, dynamite works pretty good against caravan guards, too. So, that's what we do. Rob and blow things up.
Steer clear of the Mojave Post. NCR troopers all over the place down there.
Didn't know anyone would willingly walk into this place. Not unless they were looking for trouble. What's your story?
What did you do before you ended up incarcerated?
I was a sheriff, believe it or not, for a small town far to the west of here. Short version is that sometimes justice is a little slow. I helped speed it up one too many times. I'm not sorry for anything I did, but I will do the time. Fair enough trade if you ask me.
Tell me more about what happened in prison.
I understand that Cook was behind it all. I kept my head down the whole time. Didn't want any part of it. I stuck around, figuring the NCR would show up and put things back the way they were. No sense in making myself look guilty, right?
Who's Cook?
Some kind of anti-NCR rebel. Some people just don't like being pushed around and told what to do.
Where can I find Cook?
He went north with some of the other guys. Didn't say where. Didn't say why. All I know is he's got some kind of score to settle with the NCR.
Why are you still here?
I'm not quite sure the kind of greeting NCR troopers will give an escaped con like myself. Figure it's better to stay put for now.
Who's in charge of the powder gangers?
Right now, Eddie and his boys run the place. They've got the guns and the dynamite, so they call the shots.
Seems like a fairly nice chap.
You eyeballing me?
Not even allowed to use a broken terminal in here. Yeah, of course you lose karma stealing from them, even though they're a bunch of criminals who attack people with dynamite.
Damn.
It's about time a new customer showed up around here. I was getting sick of dealing with the same faces all the time.
Show me what you have for sale.
If I don't have anything you like, well...
And that's good.
Give me a shout if you need anything else. I was always the guy who could get things, if you know what I mean. Figured I might as well keep on doing it.
What did you do to end up here in the first place?
I worked in a casino in New Reno. One of the pit bosses decided he didn't like me. Framed me over some caps, and I ended up in here.
What can you tell me about this place?
This is where the NCR sent prisoners to reform through hard labor. I never saw much reforming around here myself.
Why do you stay here?
Don't have any other place to go. I'd just end up back in another prison or dead out in the wasteland.
Kind of interesting that so many of these people actually have pretty reasonable stories and reasons for doing what they do. It's not completely black and white.
Robots myself.
Must suck being a prisoner here and everyone has to share this one toilet. Someone takes a nasty shit and suddenly the whole fucking cell block pays for it. Oh, if you ever need an explosive magazine, here's one. But I do not need one. I don't even know why I search these places, because I'm not going to steal anything.
Heard there was a new face around. I'm the doctor around here. Sort of.
Why are you sort of the doctor?
I was an NCR medic for 6 months, so I'm not exactly a doctor. Still, it's more medical training than any of the other guys here. It also gives me an excuse to stay out of any raiding parties. The gang can't lose its only doctor now, can it?
So how does an NCR doctor or medic end up here?
Medical supplies go for a decent amount of caps in the right markets. I figured the quartermaster wouldn't notice any missing. I was wrong.
What did you do before?
Let's see. I've been a farmhand, a bouncer, a bandit, and an NCR trooper. I don't recommend any of them.
What's your reason for staying?
The location by the highway makes it a good spot to shake down any travelers passing through. That's why Eddie and the rest are still around. Me, I like having big walls between myself and the wasteland.
How did y'all manage to escape?
One night, there was a big explosion from the other cell block. I had no idea what was going on, so I took cover in my bunk. When it was all over, the guards were dead and we were free. Most of the other prisoners scattered, but a few of us stuck around, obviously.
It can be kind of pleasant just to talk to the NPCs and see their stories. The developers clearly put in quite a bit of care into the writing, making sure everyone has their own little histories and reasons for what they're doing.
We sure showed those bastards in the NCR.
I thought that was a bottle cap there. Just a stain on the table.
Hey.
President Kimball has got a bit of a makeover.
What are you looking at?
Why are you called Scrambler?
Why? It's because I mess up people so bad they don't know what part goes where when I'm done.
What do you do to end up in here?
Not much. Just killed a bunch of people. Maybe a couple kids too. Whatever.
How do you all break out?
Dynamite. Lots and lots of dynamite. You should have seen the body parts flying everywhere.
What do you do here?
I keep an eye on my buddy Eddie. Anybody messes with him and I scramble them real good.
Dawes said he let somebody in. So you going to give me a reason not to kill you and throw your body back outside?
How do you end up here?
Why do you care? Answer, you shouldn't. I don't feel like trading life stories.
How'd the breakout happen?
It was all Cook's idea. He and his boys managed to swipe some dynamite and hide it away in their cells. The rest of us just tagged along. Cook's crew headed north while the rest of us stuck around for payback.
What can you tell me about the prison?
The NCR called it a work-release prison. We lucky prisoners got the privilege of fixing up the rail lines and blasting rock for new lines. They got sloppy though. Some of us managed to hide away some dynamite, and look who's in charge now.
What do you know about Cook?
One mean son of a bitch. Really truly hates the NCR for some reason. And he got a lot of the other guys around to his way of thinking.
Where is he now?
He and his crew went north. I heard talk about some sort of big plan to get back at the NCR, but haven't seen them since. This is Powderganger territory, my territory. Most of the guys around here understand that. One, Chavez doesn't. Chavez formed his own crew and have been hitting traitors on their own. Everybody I've sent after him either got killed or weren't able to catch him. That leaves you. What do you say?
You only want me to deal with Chavez?
Chavez is the ringleader. Without him, his crew will fall apart, and I don't give a shit about those guys.
Alright.
Good. Chavez and his boys were last seen south of here. If you're lucky, and he's careless, he might still be there.
So we're gonna do a mission for the Powder Gangers, and it shouldn't affect my reputation with the NCR too much, but if it does, I will be able to earn it back in time. If I can figure out how to get out of here first. Really? Is that close to you?
Never gets old when something blows up.
You just walked into the wrong camp, my friend. Hand over everything you've got and we might let you live.
Eddie sent me to deal with you.
That's nothing new. Am I supposed to be impressed?
Eddie's just gonna keep chasing you. Quit while you're ahead and alive.
Alright. Pickings were getting slim around here anyway.
Your little dino toy doesn't weigh anything, so might as well. Cigarette carton, might as well grab these here. Again, worth a decent amount. Fight apathy, or don't.
Never gets old when something blows up.
Some books and Lad's Life. Another well-hidden magazine by all accounts.
Any lawman that comes after me won't have it easy.
Powderganger note. The note reads, some of the fellas farther north are trying to organize. We're starting to think it's a good idea. Go to pool resources if we're gonna survive out here. Oh, got to. Sure, you've noticed a decline in travelers. If they've been... if they're getting wise, so should we.
Prim's got some new sheriff watching over it.
Apparently they found out about Prim Slim. I'm guessing that sheriff guy is the person that Deputy Beagle would have suggested I break out. But I like the idea of reprogramming a robot to serve as a law enforcement of the town better.
What?
Chavez has been dealt with. You won't see him around here anymore.
I'm happy you cleared that up for me, but we've got another situation to worry about. There's a merchant hanging around near the prison. Something feels funny about him, and I want you to deal with him. Shake him down if he's legit, but if not, take him out.
What exactly is funny about that merchant you want me to check out?
Most people already know we run this territory and are usually in a hurry to get out. Not this guy. It's like he wants us to come get him.
Become accepted by the Powdergangers, and so far not at the expense of my reputation with the NCR.
Better be careful around these parts. I hear there's Powdergangers around and dangerous for merchants like me.
Traveling a little light for a merchant, aren't you? No pack ramen?
Well, you see, Fuck. I'm really a bounty hunter trying to catch some Powdergangers, but they probably saw through me just like you did. I've been hanging around hoping to ambush some of them, but haven't had any success.
There's a bounty out on Powdergangers?
No, but there ought to be. I'm just taking the initiative is all.
You think you can take on Powdergangers by yourself?
Not a whole gang or anything, just 2, maybe 3. I was a caravan guard, so I know how to handle a gun pretty well.
So what are you doing sticking around here?
You know, just filling up water and stuff.
Just give them the boot. You better leave all you can. The Powdergangers won't fall for your trick.
Yeah, was a stupid idea anyway. See you around. You won't see me around here again.
So far I've been able to solve everything with my words, which is good.
Running low on smokes again.
Because that's, role-playing opportunity.
I've been thinking that since you've been good to us, we can be good to you. We've got plenty of spare powder and dynamite around. Say the word and we can give you some of it every couple days.
I got rid of them.
Good. Had them figured for NCR, one of the Rangers made. Anyway, speaking of the NCR, I need you to take a walk down to Prim. The NCR hasn't raised hell over our breakout, and I want to find out why. They're up to something, I can feel it.
What am I looking for in Prim?
I know the NCR has troops near Prim, so talk to the locals and find out if any of those troops are going to be coming our way.
Hello.
Now we start to get into some faction conflict. So far we've been dealing with people breaking away from the main gang and traveling merchants. Now the NCR is being dragged into this.
Morning.
Yeah?
Does the NCR have any plans to attack the prison north of here?
Military operations are classified information. The brass is familiar with the situation at the NCRCF.
Saves just a little bit of time, you know? See here, Nash residence. And nothing on the tent area. Here's Ruby.
Howdy. Hello there.
Know if the NCR has any plans to attack the prison north of here?
I wouldn't know anything about that, dear. You might ask Johnson.
Who are you?
I'm Ruby Nash. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My husband and I are prim long-timers. He fancies himself a trader, and I know my way around a kitchen.
What do you cook?
My specialty is a rad scorpion venom casserole. It's more appetizing than it sounds. The venom has a sharp, smoky flavor, and it numbs your mouth so fierce you'll forget you ever had a tongue. It's perfectly safe, long as you don't have sores in your mouth for the venom to find your blood, 'cause that'll kill you dead.
I'd like some.
Does sound good, don't it? How many rad scorpion glands you got?
Oh shit, Boone has them all.
Guess you'll be needing to find some, huh? Come back when you do.
And that's why I was handing them off to Boone. Just gonna leave this guy here.
Heard it was you brought the law back to Prim, youngster. Hats off to you.
Do you know if the NCR is planning an attack on the prison?
I might know something, but my memory ain't what it used to be. Sometimes it needs motivating.
If the NCR won't deal with these prisoners, I'll have to risk doing it myself.
Hold on there. With everything you already done for this town, I'd feel ungrateful as hell if I let you risk yourself for no good reason. Now, he made me swear not to say a word to no one, but an NCR deserter passed through some days ago and traded for supplies. According to him, the NCR has decided enough's enough, and is going to send in a mess of troops to take back the prison any day now. Hey there, youngster.
Need at least 30 cards though.
Hey there.
So I can help Lieutenant Hayes, and I think I'll do that. Times like these, you really wish there was a sprint button. Just so it doesn't take so dang long.
We won't go quiet. Yeah?
I know the NCR is planning to attack the prison.
Military operations are classified information.
Classified or not, I want to help make the attack.
Some powder gangers did you wrong, is that it? Get in line. Still, you do look capable enough, and manpower hasn't been easy to come by. Alright, fine by me if you want to put yourself in harm's way. I'll mark the staging area on your map. Talk to Sergeant Lee.
Good thing we clear these people out before the NCR arrived. Looks like there's a few more soldiers down there. Hey, Lee.
I'm Sergeant Lee. Lieutenant Hayes radioed ahead to say you were on the way. We've got supplies on our side, and that's about it. Once we blow a gap in the fence, we've got to pour on the fire and keep them disorganized. Our goal is to take out their leader, some assbag named Eddie. With the ringleader gone, the rest will fold. And that's all the briefing you're going to get. Let's go. Watch out!
So this is gonna be a bit of a difficult battle. I have 5% chance of them. Let's just meme shot. Gonna switch weapons. Yeah, let's give them a taste of their own explosive medicine. Where are they? Fuck it.
Like that?
Gonna specifically kill Eddie. With the grenade rifle. I think that's a pretty fitting way to end him. And of course we're gonna bump our explosives up to 35. Unfortunately do not have enough to bump this up to 25, but that's fine. There's a mysterious stranger I was talking about earlier. Could do this one. But yeah, I'll wait. Gonna get a scrounger. Because finding a bunch of ammunition would be really useful, especially if the ammunition ends up being good. But other than that, everything is all cleared up and back in some semblance of order. Though the NCR are gonna have to repair that fence because of course it won't really do well if there's a gaping hole. I'll leave him to it. Not you.
Sounds like the NCR is finally getting off their ass to settle things around here. Don't expect me to get in their way.
Goodbye. Kinda like the fact that he's able to live though. Where you going, Lee?
We can take it from here. We might have some cleaning up to do, but Eddie's a deadie. Gangs with no leadership don't last long. I'll radio Hayes to let him know the prison's ours. You should swing by to see him the next time you're near Prim.
Guess Hayes just isn't here anymore.
Well, if it isn't the lawbringer.
What's your problem now?
My problem is that I'm no longer a deputy. I'm just a beagle now. Slim's alright. I don't wish him no harm, but the law to him is a set of logic. Not everything is black and white. Not sure a robot can ever understand that. Well,
Oh, just be an ungrateful grouch. Just for the sake of roleplay here,
Hey there.
I don't think we should be having dead bodies sitting outside in the sun to rot and ruin the atmosphere of the area. Though there's really not much to ruin here. But still, I think it would be best if we just dump him in there and wait for someone to take out the trash. Maybe head over to Vault 34, where I can explore more of this area around here. Gunrunner.
Try not to make any trouble. We like it quiet around here.
Yeah, I know she's an important NPC. Golf carts have been long abandoned, and I kinda wonder how many people have just never seen them before when playing the game. You seem very easy to miss. Oh shit. Did you see that? Right over there, those orange wings. Those orange wings are bad news because that there is a Cazador. Along with Deathclaws, they are the most dangerous creatures in the Mojave. And they're actually based off of a real-world animal called the tarantula hawk wasp. And do you know why they're called the tarantula hawk wasp? Because they hunt tarantulas, and the way they do it is they attack the females. They attack a tarantula and sting it with presumably very painful, paralyzing venom, and then they drag the tarantula back to their burrow or hideout and lay eggs inside of the tarantula, and the eggs will hatch and eat the tarantula from the inside out. Now, I like tarantulas. I had one as a pet a while ago. His name was Harry. And so let me tell you, anything that's not a friend of tarantulas is not a friend of mine. And the developers have decided to take this thing that has the second most painful sting of any insect, second to the bullet ants. Oh, Jesus! Fucking hell. This isn't the Quarry Junction, is it? Take out the hunting rifle. Or hunting revolver. Let's see. Oh, there's a bunch of them over there. I think it is the Quarry Junction. That's where boys become men. And we kinda need to go there later on to... You can see how tough these things are. And I'm cheesing the fight completely. I was saying I don't need to be invisible to take on these guys and get up there. Because if I get up there, they get caught on the world geometry. And then I should be able to use VATS to throw the dynamite on them. Oh, that's a fully grown one. Anytime you want to shoot, buddy. Drink some of this. Now we want to get into position up here where we will discover this location and we will save. This takes us more toward the vault. I'm gonna not fight those death claws cause it takes way too much ammo. Should be almost on it. Fire geckos. Oh, golden geckos. My mistake. slow it down at least. Yeah, I think I'll grab it all, to be honest. I just want to discover Vault 34 and... Oh, fuck off. The gecko hides should be worth... I'm not giving 100 NCR dollars to a dead gecko, but the hides should be worth something. Just here to discover the vault and then get out. So a few friendly NPCs that way. Trying to remember. If I keep going up here, I should reach the boomers. And they have a few pretty easy quests, all things considered. Or field shack. There's quite a lot to offer, to be honest. Star bottle cap. Avoid talking to him because he offers nothing useful. Now, the best way to do this, I find, is to stick close to the rocks here. Ooh. Last one got me.
Hold it right there. Don't you move. How the hell did you survive that bombardment?
Who's in charge here?
I'm not telling you a thing, savage. Move a muscle now and I'll blow you to pieces.
You'll shoot your own fence? Brilliant idea. Didn't come here to attack you.
Then just stay where you are. Raquel will be here any second.
I'll take this from here. I'm Raquel, Master-at-Arms for the Nellis homeland. Mother Pearl, our eldest, wishes to speak to you.
Alright.
Follow close, and mind your behavior.
Welcome, child. Took your sweet time getting here, didn't you? I've been waiting a good 5 years for an outsider to come along and visit.
How might I be of assistance?
Oh, so many ways. Small ones to begin with, so we can get used to what it's like to have a outsider around and about. Should that go well, maybe you can help in big ways, too. We'll have to see.
How can we trust each other if you're going to keep secrets?
You have to keep in mind that you're our first contact with the outside world since I was barely a woman. Seclusion has kept us safe. But the world around us is changing. Neon lights in the distance, patrolling robots, soldiers. My youngers think our guns can keep out the world. But I think we need to let it in, just a little, or become its victim. You're that little bit of the world, child. Welcome to Nellis.
Where'd I start?
You picked a good time to stop by, for we're swimming in problems. My youngers can tell you all about it. Raquel could use help with the bug problem. Doc Argyle has wounded he's tending to. And Loyal and Jack might be looking for help with some repairs. Or you could just go see Pete at the museum and hear the story of our people. All you have to do there is listen. Come and go as you like, help or don't help, I leave it up to you. But I hope you'll show my youngers that not every outsider needs to be blown up.
Alright, so there's quite a bit we can do here, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up because this episode is long enough already. So I hope you enjoyed the video, that I gave you something to think about and otherwise entertained you. Take care. And, next episode we'll do a few missions with these guys, get some XP, and hopefully be able to finish this mission. Then I might go back here and explore around this area, just for fun.